everyone, thank you for joining me again today. Our sequence today is going to focus on hamstrings. So many of us have tight hamstrings from a lot of sitting all day long, so we're going to really think about opening and stretching through the backs of the legs. I'm going to be using my yoga strap today. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can grab a towel or a tie, or if you have an old pillowcase, you can fold that in a diagonal shape and just spin it around, which will give you a nice little strap here. So this is an option if you don't have a strap. We are going to get started today laying down. So go ahead and lay all the way down. Move these things out of the way. Let your legs lengthen, bring your arms out to the sides and drop the shoulder blades. Begin to allow your mind to settle, sending your thoughts away and focusing in on your breath. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold the breath at the top, feeling the lungs expand. And exhale, release through your mouth. Feel that settling into the earth. One more time like that. Deep breath in. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale through the mouth. And on your next inhale, gently blink your eyes open. Draw your knees in towards your chest, and you're going to hold behind your knees. You can take a little rock side to side, getting comfortable here, lengthening the spine, and then hold on behind your left knee, stretch your right leg long. Press your toes forward as you pull the left knee in close, drawing your belly button towards your spine. Take an inhale. Exhale through the nose as you switch legs. Pull your right knee in, extend long through the left toes. Again, deep breath in. Exhale, switch legs. See if you can draw that left knee in a little closer this time. Keep pressing long through the right leg. Inhale. And exhale, switch. Bring both knees back in towards your chest. And then plant your feet down on the floor, hips distance apart. This is where you're going to grab your strap or your pillowcase, your towel, whatever you have handy, and hook that strap across the bottom of your right foot, holding the strap in both hands. Keep your head planted on the floor and begin to extend your leg as straight as you can get it. Keep pressure on the strap as you pull your toes towards you and kick your heel up towards the ceiling. And begin to feel the opening through the back of your leg. Good. Take a little bend in your knee. And then again, press into the strap, straighten the leg as much as you can. Let your shoulders drop down, releasing tension through the head, neck, torso, and the back of the leg. See if you can pull the toes a little closer towards you. One more breath. And exhale, bend your knee. Take the strap off of the right foot, planting that foot down, and hook the strap over your left foot. Lift the leg. Press your heel to the ceiling as the toes point down towards you. And keep even pressure on the strap on both sides. Start to let that thigh bone sink down into the hip crease. Breathe into your stretch. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, press through the heel, re-extend the leg. And then see if you can pull the toes towards you slightly. Start to feel that deep opening through the back of your leg. One more breath. Good. Gently bend your knee. Now take your right foot up into the strap as well, and both legs straight. You want to try and get your low back in contact with the mat and press your heels to the ceiling, toes towards you. Deep, full breaths in and out through the nose. Add a little bit of pull down on the strap or the blanket or towel, whatever you're holding onto. Reversing the effects of gravity on the legs here as you kick the heels to the sky. One more breath. Good. Bend your knees. Go ahead and take that strap off of your feet. Just place it over to the side. Hold on to the backs of your knees and give yourself a little rock forward to come all the way up. Sweep your legs out to one side and come onto hands and knees. Spread your fingers. Shift your shoulders forward over your wrists and make sure your knees are about hips distance apart. On an inhale, stretch your right leg straight back, point your toe, and try to keep your hip crease facing the floor. As you exhale, pull your knee in towards your chest, rounding the upper back. Inhale, press the toes back long. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lengthen. 2 more times. Exhale, squeeze the knee up, push the floor away. Inhale, reach back. Last time like this, exhale, knee in, pull that low belly in and up. Inhale, stretch your leg long, holding the leg lifted. Come up to the left fingertips, and then maybe extend that left arm all the way forward alongside the ear. Keeping your core engaged, pull your belly button straight up towards your spine, and lengthen, stretch long through your fingers and toes. Good. Start to feel the body warming up here as you find that balance. 3 more breaths. Inhale, lift the leg a little higher. Exhale, hold. Again, inhale. Exhale, sink into your grounded palm. Inhale. And exhale, bring your arm and your leg back down. Straight to the second side. Inhale, left leg lengthens. Press back through your toes. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, pull the knee up as close to the body as you can. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze 1 more time like that. Inhale, reach back long. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lengthen, hold. Come up to the right fingertips, and then maybe reach that right arm forward. Sending the top of your head and your chest forward. Press back in the opposite direction through the toes. Low belly stays engaged. Try to keep that arm alongside the ear and your leg at hip height. And then notice where you can relax. Are you squeezing through the shoulders, through the back body? Can you let go? Come back to your breath. Inhale. Exhale, hold. Lift the leg a little higher. Again, inhale fully. Exhale, soften into it. Last time, inhale. And exhale, bring your hand and your knee back down. From here, walk your hands forward about 6 inches or so, widening that stance. Inhale, send your right leg straight back. As you exhale, pull your knee towards your chest, and then you're going to step that foot up between your hands. If you need to, you can help guide the foot there. You can tuck the back toes or keep the top of the foot planted on the floor, and rise up, hands on top of your right thigh. Good. You want to think about squeezing scissor action in the inner thighs. So you're not sinking down into the pelvis, but rather you're trying to lift up, pull the belly in, and engage both of your legs as you hold your posture here. Lift tall. Settle in just for 2 more breaths, and we're going to begin to move here. So bring your hands down. You're going to begin to hinge backwards, hips towards your left heel, and you can reach your fingertips to the floor. Start to pull your right toes up towards the ceiling. This is going to stretch through your right hamstring. Without collapsing, lengthen your chest forward, drop the shoulders, and press your heel down into the floor. As if you could pull your mat backwards by dragging your heel back. Good. Inhale, start to walk the hands forward. Sink back into that front knee. And exhale, walk it back. Hamstring stretch. Half splits. Inhale forward, belly in, stretching through your left quadricep. And exhale, walk it back. Half splits. Lengthen the spine. Good. Last time, bring it forward. This time, plant your palms down, pull that low belly in, scooping out the stomach, and step your leg back. Good, second side, left leg reaches back. Exhale, knee in towards your body, step that foot up. First, bring your hands on top of the left thigh and press your hands into the thigh, lengthen, make space, pushing your torso away from your leg. Squeeze the inner thighs in that opposite action, so the left hip pulls back, right hip forward. From here, we're going to start to drop the fingertips, hinging back, hips towards your right heel as you lift the left toes towards the ceiling. Kicking down into your left heel as if you could drag that mat back towards your body. Inhale, walk it forward. Stretching through that right quadricep. Exhale, hinge back, half splits. Chest stays open and broad across the shoulders. Inhale, bring it forward, sink. And we're sinking forward, but it's not a sinking down so much, as more as moving forward. Good, last time, walk it back, lift those toes, pull the toes towards you, press down into your heel. Inhale, bring it forward, plant your palms, spread the fingers wide. Scoop out the belly as you send the left knee back. And then you're going to walk your hands back so that shoulders stack over the wrists, back to our neutral tabletop. Inhale, dropping the belly, gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, rounding your back, chin to chest, cat. One more time, inhale, open the collarbones, gaze up. Exhale, press the floor away, rounding your upper back. On an inhale, come to neutral. Step your legs back, so we're finding plank position here. Knees coming up off the floor. Spread across the collarbones. Push down through the palms and press the backs of your thighs to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, start to lift your hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. Now, you might not be able to get your heels to the floor yet. Bend one knee and then the other, trying to get those heels closer to the ground one at a time. Good. Lift both heels high, push the floor away. And then from here, inhale, bend your knees, bring your chest towards your thighs. As you exhale, press the floor away, straighten the legs. And then see if you can let those heels melt down towards your mat. Again, inhale, lift the heels high, bend your knees. Exhale, lengthen through the legs, let your heels melt to the floor. One more time, inhale, heels lift, bend your knees. Exhale, press and lengthen the legs. Let your heels melt down as much as you can get them towards the floor. From here, walk your hands back towards your toes. Take a nice big bend in the knees. I'm going to step forward a little bit. So a nice bend in your knees so that your chest is on top of your thighs. You can feel that contact. If your fingertips don't reach the ground, grab opposite elbows and allow the front body to soften, dropping down towards the legs. In order to stretch our hamstrings here, we need to straighten out the legs as much as possible. So the hamstrings connect from your sit bones to the backs of your knees. So from here, keeping your chest in contact with your legs, begin to straighten the knees as much as you can, little by little. Try to shift your weight forward towards your big toe mounds and think about lifting the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Good, one more deep breath here. Stretch through the backs of those legs. Inhale, lengthen halfway, fingertips towards your shin, chest forward. Exhale, fold back in. Good, on your next inhale, you're gonna look forward, walk your hands forward, coming back to find downward facing dog. Press back, heart towards your thighs, heels towards the mat. Holding here, stretching out through the backs of the legs. Actively pull your kneecaps up towards your thigh bones. Good, one more breath. And walk your hands back towards your feet again. This time as you inhale, rise all the way to stand. Reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart. Good. From here, bring your hands onto your hips. You're going to step your right foot forward about 3/4 of the way towards the front of the mat. And ankle your back toes open slightly to the left. You want to think about pulling this right hip straight back, plugging the outer thigh in. And we're going to keep our hands on our hips today. Take a deep inhale, press into the front big toe. As you exhale, start to hinge forward. Flat spine, so maybe you just come a couple inches. And you might start to feel that stretch through the hamstring. Maybe you can come back down a little further, like halfway here. We're not going to go further than halfway today. If you notice that your knee is jamming back, put a tiny little micro bend in the knee. So you want to use the muscles on top and below the knee joint to keep that joint safe. 3 breaths here. Keep sending the heart forward. Think about broadening across the back body and stretching through that right hamstring. Good. Gaze down at the top of the mat. On your next inhale, start to lift back up. Put a little bend in your right knee and step your left leg up to meet the right. Inhale, circle your arms, reach tall. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, we lengthen halfway. And exhale, bend your knees as much as you need to plant your palms firmly on the ground. Drop those sit bones, step your legs back, plank pose, feet about hips distance apart, shoulders over wrists. Pull your belly in and up. On your next exhale, start to lift those hips high, pressing back into downward facing dog. Good. 2 rounds of breath. Inhale, lift the sit bones. Exhale, let your heels melt towards the ground. Spin your triceps back and your biceps towards the ceiling. So you're rotating the inner upper arms forward. On your next inhale, belly in, start to walk your hands back towards your toes. Inhale, rise all the way to stand, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to heart and all the way down to your hips. This time, left leg steps forward about 3/4 of the way. Angle those right toes open slightly. Plug your left hip back as the right hip spins forward. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, begin to hinge towards the front of your mat. So you want to keep your pelvis neutral here. Keep that left hip pulling back, right hip forward. And again, you might just come a few inches. Feeling that stretch through the front hamstrings. Press into that front big toe to keep your knee joint safe. And keep spreading wide across the front body. Focus on your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Good. Last inhale. And then just gently bend into that front knee, lift all the way back up to stand. Step your right leg up to meet the left. Toes and heels touch. Good. We're going to move into Surya Namaskar A, sun salutations. Inhale, circle your arms out and up, rise tall. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen out halfway, long spine. Exhale, bend your knees so much that you can plant your hands on your mat and step back, plank pose. We're going to take our first chaturanga with a modification. So from your plank, bend your knees until your knees touch the ground and take the tops of your toes to the floor. Now, without letting your hips sink, I want you to keep pulling your belly in and up, gaze forward, and begin to bend your elbows. As the elbows bend straight back, your whole torso lowers all the way down to the floor. Keep the palms planted. On an inhale, just a tiny lift of the chest, baby cobra pose. As you exhale, press back into your palms, come up onto your knees. Coming through tabletop, tuck your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels high, bend your knees. Exhale, look forward. Step your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle the arms, rise to stand, palms touch. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good, 2 more times. Inhale, sweep the arms, using your breath. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, knees bend, plant your palms, spread those fingers, step back, plank pose. Take an inhale. As you exhale, knees to the floor, bend your elbows back, lower all the way to your belly. Inhale, little lift of the heart forward, cobra pose. Exhale, come through tabletop, tuck the toes, hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, lift the heels high, bend your knees. Exhale, look forward, step your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle the arms, rise to stand, Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time through, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, folding forward, stretch through the backs of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, palms press, step back, plank pose. Take a breath in. Exhale, knees to the mat, bend the elbows, chaturanga. All the way to the belly, inhale, cobra pose, elbows stay straight back. Exhale, come to tabletop, tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath in your down dog. Push the floor away as you lift your sit bones even higher. Stretch through the backs of your legs. Inhale fully. Exhale all the way to empty. On your next inhale, heels lift high. Bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen out halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to stand, circle the arms. Exhale, hands to your heart. Nicely done. Step to the middle of your mat. Open your arms straight out from the shoulders and then step your legs wide. Ankles underneath your wrists. We're going to move into triangle pose, Trikonasana, starting on the right side. So your right thigh bone rotates open, toes towards the short end of your mat, and angle your left toes in slightly. Take a deep breath in, keep pressure in that front big toe. Exhale, hinge as far as you can towards the right. When you can't hinge any further, then start to tip down. Bring your hand to your shin, left fingertips to the ceiling. Lengthen out through the spine, stretching through that right hamstring. One more deep breath. On your next inhale, rise all the way back up. Good, turn your toes to parallel, take it straight to the second side. Left hip opens, turn the toes towards the short end of your mat, angle the right toes forward. Stretch to the left. When you can't reach forward anymore, tip down, hand on top of your shin, reaching your right fingertips up to the ceiling. Feel that stretch through the back of your leg, through your hamstring. Press down into that front big toe, keeping that joint from locking out. Good, just one more deep breath here. On your next inhale, rise all the way back up. Bring your hands to your hips and turn your toes inward. From here, we'll take a forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Deep breath in. Exhale, begin to hinge forward, flat spine. Maybe come halfway. Maybe this time you start to bring your fingers down towards the floor and lower down a little deeper. I want you to keep thinking about reaching your spine forward before you melt the chest down. Feel the backs of the legs stretching. You could grab onto your ankles. 3 more breaths. Press the weight towards the big toe mounds, lifting the sit bones up high. Good, last breath here. On your next inhale, hands back to your hips, rise all the way to stand, flat spine. Good. Turn your heels in, bend your knees, and step the feet together. From here, we're gonna come all the way down to seated, bend your knees. You're gonna sit down, stretching your legs forward, and you're gonna grab your strap or your pillowcase, blanket, towel again. So we're gonna work on Paschimottanasana, forward fold, seated forward fold. Keep your thighs pressing into the earth, pull your toes back towards you, and take your strap around the soles of the feet. So again, you want to have an even length of the strap. Lift up through the spine. Deep breath in. And exhale, begin to pull the strap towards you as you hinge forward, flat spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge a little deeper. Whew, feel that stretch. Maybe you can walk the hands closer towards the feet. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, dropping in towards your fold. Good, one more deep breath. On your next inhale, rise up. You're gonna take the strap around your right foot, and you can bend your left knee. So you're gonna pull the foot in towards your inner thigh, and just let that knee open up. Alternatively, if you'd like a different option, you could bring your foot around behind you and keep your femur bone straight forward. But for today, I think it's probably better to open that knee up. Hold evenly onto your strap, pull the toes back. You're gonna start to lift your foot up off the ground. Now notice if you start to hinge back into the tailbone. I want you to lift up tall, so even if that means that your foot doesn't come as far off the floor, that's okay. Pull the strap towards you as you lift the leg a little higher. Maybe you feel good here. You can walk your hands closer towards that foot. Keep plugging that hip back. And keep lifting the toes towards the ceiling. Good, 2 more breaths. Open wide across the chest. Last inhale. And exhale, slowly release. Good, send your left leg forward. You're gonna switch, pulling your right foot back. Take the knee open and just let that thigh relax. Good, reset. Lift up out of the tailbone. Hold on to either edge of your strap. Start to lift your foot up off the ground. Now again, notice if this starts to happen and you're hinging back. Come forward, lift up. Take your time with it. Pull the toes back towards you, kick out through your heel. Start to lift that leg a little higher, little by little. You'll start to open up through that hamstring, and then maybe you walk the hands a little further closer towards your foot. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. Belly in. Good, last 2 breaths. 1 more inhale. And exhale, release. Good, take that strap off of your foot. You're gonna bring the soles of the feet together and open your knees out. Belly in, lifting up tall through the spine. Good, 1 more deep breath here. And then gently take your hands to the outsides of the knees, pull the knees up. We're gonna roll back onto the floor. So reach your arms forward and lower all the way down. Good. A little bit more stretch through those hamstrings before we finish. So you're gonna lift your right toes towards the ceiling. Hold on behind your calf with your hands. You can interlace the fingers. And from here, I want you to think about extending that left leg forward this time to hover off the ground. So L shape in the legs. Point your toes, start to pull the right leg back a little bit. A little bit of core work here. Deep breath in. Exhale, switch legs. Left leg to the ceiling, right toes forward. There might be a little bend in that knee depending on how those hamstrings are feeling. But do your best to straighten the leg as much as you can. Good, 1 more inhale. Exhale, float the right leg up, switch legs. 1 more time, let that thigh bone descend, plugging into the hip. Deep breath in. Exhale, switch legs. Stretch it out. Last breath in. And exhale, bending your knees. Take a little rock side to side. Plant your feet down on the floor. Make sure you can feel your heels with your fingertips. We'll take one bridge pose just to open up through the front body and taking it into a back bend. On an inhale, lift your hips. Maybe interlace your fingers. You can walk the shoulders closer together. Press your thigh bones up towards the ceiling as you push your heart back towards your chin. Try to release tension through your glutes. Press into your feet and the backs of your arms. Good, one more breath. And exhale, slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Open the feet a little wider, and then you're going to drop both knees over to the right. Back through center, and both knees over to the left. Good. Bring your knees back towards your chest. Hold onto your shins. Inhale, send your legs forward, reach your arms back overhead. And exhale, circle everything back into the center. Last time, inhale, lengthen arms and legs. Hold 3, 2, and 1. Lower your legs, bring your arms alongside you for Shavasana, final rest. Let your toes flap open, arms away from the body with your palms facing up. Close your eyes and settle in for these next few moments to finish your practice. Try to keep your mind as still and calm as your body here. If thoughts come up or there's distractions around you, see if you can refocus on the breath. Without controlling the breath anymore, just noticing the inflow and outflow of your breath. Let all your muscles release, getting heavy, pulling you down into the floor. Whether you're starting your day with this practice, ending your day, or you're in the middle of your day, let these few moments of total rest and relaxation just help you get back into a mindset of being centered, calm, and focused to take on whatever challenges might come your way. You can always come back here to find that centering feeling. On an inhale, reach your arms overhead. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, circle your wrists and ankles. On an exhale, draw your knees in, plant your feet on the floor, and rock over to your right side. You can use your right arm as a pillow for your head. Taking a moment here, as you're ready, press down into the floor. Begin to rise all the way back upright. And come back to crossing your ankles, if that's comfortable. If not, you can stretch those legs forward. Settle in, feel your sit bones rooting into the earth. Bring your palms together at heart center. Thank you for allowing me to lead you through this practice today. Thank you for showing up and putting in the work. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.